Alright fish people, hope you're all doing well, and in today's video we are going to talk about the Vieja Synspilum blue spot. Just a quick one on that go guys. I do call them the Vieja Synspilum because they are a Synspilum, but they have obviously been reclassified as Melanaru. Now I'm old school and I've been saying Synspilum for years, so I will refer to them as Synspilum, but they are Melanaru, so whatever you choose I suppose. But they are Vieja Synspilum blue spots. Are also known as shiny spots. They are, you do find these in the wild, so they do originate from the wild, because they are a type of Vieja Synspilum, and especially in the UK they're more readily available now, because actually a friend of mine bred these. David, he got hold of a pair. I think he got them through Rob Johnson from Yugoslavia, and they were a cracking pair, and he had one hell of a big spawn out of them. So there's quite a few of these now knocking about in the UK, which is good because I don't think I'd seen them before that. But no, cracking fish. And as you can see in this video, they are actually in the 2 foot cube now. So obviously I bought myself a new hospital tank, quarantine tank, whichever one you want to call it, and I've got 2 of them now because going forward I am going to use this as either an overflow tank or an hospital tank. So in this occasion it's being used as an hospital tank, and the reason for that is because I brought them home. I did put them in quarantine first, and then I moved them to the Heterosphere tank, which is where going forward they're going to live with the Heterosphere. And they had a spawn. They had a spawn after about a week, and those eggs got eaten. But I noticed that a lot of the smaller fish in the tank started to pick at the mucus and the slime coat. So just to preserve that, I took them out and put them in here, and they've been in here about 5 days now, and as you can see, they're just back. They did have a couple of marks, not too bad, but a couple of marks on them. But they're back to normal now. They're doing fine, and as you can see in this video, it looks like they're getting ready for another spawn. So I'm just going to leave them for now until I fully believe that they're right. There's no rush. There's nothing else that needs to be in this tank, so they can stay in here for now, so it's fine. But they're on fire, so they've really showed up for this video because they look fantastic. They are an unbelievable looking fish, and the reason I got these, so obviously I've got the Heterosphere that I'm going to build. When I move to my new house, I'm having a 7x2x2 tank built around the Heterosphere. I've got 6 Heterosphere, and then I want some other Vieja fish in there, plus the ferric fish that I've got. So it's the cichlids from Mexico. These weren't in the original plan, to be honest with you, but when I went to Marco's a couple of months ago to buy them red devils, he had 3 of these in his tank. They were from the same spawn from David as well, and they just set the tank alight in my opinion, because he had cichlids that were from Mexico in that tank. But for me, his blue spots absolutely just stood out for me. So at that point I needed to get myself some. And whether it's fate or coincidence, I don't know, about 2 weeks later, these came available. So obviously I had to have them, you know. Call it addiction, call it what you want, but I had to have them. So I went and got them. And the male's around about 7 inches, 8 inches, and the female's just a little bit smaller than that. There is actually some of their young out there, and they are in Predator Aquatics. So if anybody is looking for this species, this type, and they want to buy some, Rick at Predator Aquatics has got a load around 2 inches, so they're from these. These are the parents to those young, and if you're in the UK especially, he does ship, but I do believe he does ship abroad to certain places, so it's well worth asking that question. And yeah, they're fantastic. They've got fantastic fish, and obviously we're in the process of moving out, so I'll just keep them in here for now, and we might even get a spawn. I think we're going to get a spawn. I think that's what's happening at the moment, just preparing that ground. And it's good to see because it means that they're back to normal. When I first put them over, you could see they were a little bit out of sorts because, you know, when I noticed the fish picking at it, that could have been happening for a period of time, so it's not, you know, it's not good for them. So but they're back to normal. They're back to normal. They're fine now. I think there's one little mark left on the female, but it doesn't seem to be bothering her or anything. So they absolutely are doing great. A couple of things on this fish. So like I've said to you probably 400 times on this video, they are a Vieja Synspilum. So it's the same info that's on them. So they grow to around about an average of 12 inches. And when I do sizes, I always do it as an average. So some could get bigger than that. Some could not get that big, but on an average, this fish grows to about 12 inches. The most important bit of information for me on this fish is the diet. So, and it's probably where a lot of people may get it wrong. It's predominantly a veggie diet that these guys need. So in the wild, they eat more of a green diet, which obviously I feed them Northfin veggie, which is for me is the best food on the market, bar none. I also put fresh courgette in there, fresh pepper. So I generally just use the yellow pepper because they seem to like that. It's probably because it's a bit sweet. I put clumps of lettuce in there, which there's not a lot of nutrition in lettuce, but they like to graze on that. But it is also important that they do get a pellet, a meaty pellet. I would say bug bites. I tend to give them the more bug bite pellets. So over here in the UK, we've got Fish Science and we've got the Fluval range. They do a bug based pellet, and because in the wild they do eat bugs and stuff like that. So yeah, it's predominantly a vegetable diet, but some meaty pellets in there, and like I said, I just use the bug based ones. And I know, like I said, from Mexico, I've mentioned that already, so it's just the same information as the Vieja Synspilum, and I'm sure you'll agree, guys, that, I mean, the female, especially the female, in my opinion, the female is the nicer one of the two. Some people might disagree with that, although I do love the nuchal hump on the male. I do think the coloration of that female is fantastic. She is absolutely stunning, and like I said, I know where they come from. They come from a very, very good pair that my friend David had. So you know the young are going to be good when you've seen the parents. It's great when you know the parents. You've seen the parents and you know how good they look. So I may grow some of these on. I'm not sure, because I do know in the UK there's a hell of a lot of these about, but it's been a while since he did that. So we'll see. We'll watch this space. At the moment, there's none of that going on in my fish room due to moving house. You know, I've only got the young Trimac at the moment, and anything else I'm not bothering with just yet until I've set up my new fish room, which is still ongoing. Obviously, you know, anybody that's ever bought an house and everybody that's moved, you know that it's quite a political nightmare, if that makes sense. Great shot of the female, that, isn't it? Great shot, beautiful. And they're low down at the moment, so this tank is on the new stand that my father-in-law made, so they're on the bottom of that at the moment. So yeah, we don't get to look at them as much as we'd like to unless we sit on the floor, which we don't generally do a lot of that. So yeah, but like I said, guys, if you want to get any of these Predator Classics, does have them in at the moment, and I think it's going to be amazing to see these in my new tank when I get it set up. Definitely measured up. I can fit a 7x2x2 in there, and fantastic size tank. What is it, about 200 gallons? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's about 200 gallons, which is around about 800 litres. It's around them figures. It's not, like I said, that's not an exact, but it's around those figures. So it's a decent sized tank. Built around the Etrospia, because I've got 6 of them. I did pick another one up the other day, so a big male to even my numbers out. He's funny. He's got a pectoral fin missing, so we'll do a video just dedicated to him. He's an absolute beauty. Big shout out to Darren. If you're watching, Darren, thank you, because I love him. He's brilliant. We travelled quite a long way to pick him up as well, but he's a proper little character, and you almost feel a little bit sorry for him because of that pectoral fin, but he's still a beautiful fish. But like I said, that's the new Etrospia we'll do a video on. So yeah, there'll be, in my new tank, there'll be 6 Etrospia. There'll be these. There'll be the Synspilum that I've already got. I've got a couple of Vieja Hartweige, which are really small. I'm going to keep the best one of them. And what I would really love to add to it is a Vieja Bifasciatus, because they are outstanding, and hopefully I'll be able to pick one of them pick one of them up soon, but they're not that apparent in the UK, so it's about when one comes available. And an Argentina, that's what I'd like to see in there, and obviously along with my Therichthys that I've already got, so should look good. That should be a nice tank. If there's too many fish in there, I'll probably put these on their own, because obviously with them being a pair. So anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I just want to say thank you so much for all the support that you guys give me. It means a lot, and you know, if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favour, consider subscribing. You've just got to press the button and ping the bell for notifications. It is free of charge, and you can unsubscribe the same press of a button. So, you know, if you're not enjoying the content, you can do that. But lots of more content to come, and especially with the new fish room. So I'm going to leave it there, guys, and I will see you on the next one.